Michael, we are on live and I already assigned you as a host. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Kim. Oh,
I'm back.
yes.
I'm in the same room, but it's dark. And so now I look blue.
Yeah, you do. You look different. Yeah, so welcome. You haven't gone to bed yet.
No, we were talking about, you're the one that was giving the 4 different social medias, right? Isn't that what this class is about?
Yeah,
right?
There are actually 8 of them. Yeah. Yeah. But a lot of them you know about as well. Yeah, and there are these are you sort of just touch on the on these 8 to look at what they basically function. But Get Set Up does advanced classes, or a class devoted for an hour on each of them. So
Okay.
so if there's any of them that you feel needs more information, then go to that particular full hour. Okay. You're playing with the light, it's working.
Yeah. Somebody said to get these lights in one of the classes. Can you see it? Circle lights.
No, put it in front of your face. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, it's got all kinds of colors and whatever, and then it depends on what the color of the surrounding is. Like I said, it's dark in this room now, whereas before it was lighter.
Right, right. Yeah.
Am I the only one? Here we go. Somebody else? Kim?
There were about 5 booked, but you're the only one that's coming. But we are live streaming as well. And yeah, my light is a round light, okay? And I have it coming down in front of me above my head. And that works quite well, I think.
But is the room without the light on, is the room still light?
Yes, it is.
Okay, yeah. See, where this room without my lights on, it would be dark.
Okay, okay.
I don't have enough light in this room.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, for the virtual background, you need light in front of you. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, see, I do have the light in front of me.
Okay.
Well, let's see, I can try some different backgrounds.
Yeah, you want to try and, because your hair is light, you want to try and have a dark background, if you've got one. Okay. All right. Anyway, we live streaming, so we need to carry on and add chat. We've got Joanne coming in. Okay. So we just give her a moment to come in. And I don't know. Kim seems to have trouble. There she comes in. Joanne. Okay. Hey, hello, Joanne. Okay.
Hello.
Hi. Okay. You're in bed, so you got the camera on the ceiling, have you? There we Okay, that's great. Welcome, welcome. And we've got Laura here too, Joanne. Okay. And we've got Kim, who's our TA for the day, for the class, and she will help with any issues like Laura's having at the moment.
Messing around with it. Okay.
That's
I think
fine.
it's not going to get any better.
Yeah, that's great. And have you just woken up, Joanne? Okay. All right. All right. So today, let me just start with this. And yeah, we're going to look at 8 different social media. And these are the 8 we're going to look at. Okay. Now, to get through all 8, we just do a little bit on each one, just to get familiar with, what sort of age group is focusing on that, and what does it focus on primarily, because they're all full on social media platforms. Okay, all of them. So there are different choices, and some will resonate with some of us, and others will not. So, oh, by the way, so when I turn on some of these apps, I go live onto the apps. I'm not doing slides. We go live onto the actual app, and it usually, it's toned correctly. But like the first one that we do, Snapchat and even TikTok, which is the second one, sometimes come on very loud with the volume. Okay. In fact, I'm going to just stop sharing for a minute, and I want to just tick on the sound at the bottom, because then that helps. But be aware that neither of you got headphones on, thank goodness. So if it blares out, it's not going to deafen you. But be aware, you might have to have your finger near the volume button. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the first one we go into is Snapchat, and it's publicly traded. It's a big company. It has about 350 million followers.
Wow.
There are others that we're going to get that are going to have larger numbers than that, but it certainly is part of the top 10. Like I'm doing 8 of them, but it's certainly part of number-wise. It's part of the top 10, and the interesting thing with Snapchat is that most of the users, most, not all, are under 30 years old, okay? And of those that are under 30, most of them are under 18 years old, okay?
Wow.
So you get a feel of who's using it, and you'll see why when we just have a quick look at it, because it's got all sorts of fun filters. You can make yourself look older, younger. You can put, all sorts of clothes on yourself, and all sorts of things you can do. So it's fun. So it's certainly, there are lots of games you can play. So the youngsters really take it. They take a snap, and it's a short story, like 15 seconds, and you can add drawings, you can add text, and you can use another camera as well. So it's got sort of functionality that perhaps some of the others haven't got, but the whole focus is around what they call Spotlight. And so their stories are called Spotlight, and they share videos, and they've also got slightly longer videos than the 15-second one as well. So, and also they market quite interestingly in a way that they give away money, okay, dollars, okay, and so you can win, up to an amount, reaching up to $1 million, okay, on Snapchat. So that's obviously very attractive. Unfortunately, not everybody wins the money, as you can imagine, but it certainly entices people and to look at them. So let's have a look at introducing Spotlight. It's a little video that they have on their own website to introduce themselves. And then we'll walk through and see some of it. So let me show you. Okay, well, that took you into the introduction of Spotlight. If I just sort of wade through some of the ideas and what they are, you can, there's a thing called Spotlight itself, and then there are where it'll spotlight one particular aspect, and I've got the speech. I won't let you go. Okay, so you can, follow through and do the next one and the next one, and just spotlight each one as it comes up randomly. Filters and lenses are what I was telling you about. It becomes particularly interesting because of the filters they have. Some of the filters are free and some you have to buy. And you can create your own filters besides using theirs. So that has a lot of fun possibilities, as you can imagine. So yeah, let's just go back to the Lens Studio. This will also give you an idea of the type of lenses that you can put on as part of creation. So you can see it's very different to possibly what you've seen in other apps you've just been going around and looking at. You can create all sorts of programs, and there's a lot more to it. But as I said, it's a fully blown social media. So you message and you attract people and you get followers, and like you will in most of the others that we're going to show now. So I'm going to leave Snapchat. That is the one.
I have a
TikTok.
question. How do
Yeah.
you get paid? How do they pay people? Is there some kind of a contest? People that get the most hits
Yeah.
in one day or 1 hour?
Yeah, it's all about followers. Okay, it's all about getting people to follow you, and then their competitions, and so yeah, it's I think for a certain market category. I can't see you, Laura, necessarily putting that on. Okay.
No? Well, get a lot of
Yeah.
attention.
There. All right, but but you've certainly got to feel enough in order to get an idea of what it is. It has lots of functionality and features, all to do with the video. Okay, so and they have their own training programs as well, and there are plenty of training programs on YouTube as well. So there's a lot, but that's in that. What you see now is really the essence of it. So let's go across to TikTok, and this might just be a bit loud too. Remember, after that it won't be aware. So we're in TikTok, and we. People want to see that. Okay. So you.
Now I drive alone past your street.
Okay, so TikTok, also a full-blown social media app with all the usual, messages you can send, and likes and loves and everything that goes with social media today. And they have 1 billion with a B followers. And yeah, so, and it's recently got into like the top 8 apps, and it's growing fast. It's becoming very, very popular quickly. It's got a very fast growth, as does Instagram, that we're going to show you as well. But it's you can see on the left-hand side here, you've got stuff for you. I have an account here, so now they then you've got the people that you are following, and that's you can just follow people here. You don't have to contribute, and you can just listen to them. Maybe you've got I do have a grandchild that's on here, and so it's interesting to watch them. So let's click following, and you then see just some of the accounts and suggestions of following. Okay.
Hey, don't be surprised if one day I just... Broken dreams dancing out of the beams of a neon moon.
And there's one of my favorites.
Hi everybody, this is Tom Jones. Thanks for listening so far. And you know what? After 50 plus years, I'm still as excited now as I was the first day I went into the recording studio. So I can't wait for the comments on my new album, which is called Surrounded by Time. So please let me know what you think. Hi everybody, this is Tom Jones.
You can click on him. And,
Thanks for listening so
like
far.
you can any of
And
them.
you know what? after 50 plus years, I'm still as excited now as I was the first day I went into the recording studio. So I can't wait for the comments on my new album.
You can do
which
this
is called
on
Surrounded
all
by Time.
the apps.
So please,
but
let me know what you
it's
think.
interesting
Hi, everybody. This is
he
Tom
has
Jones.
now chosen to
Thanks for listening
use
so
TikTok.
far. And you know what?
And
After 50
one
plus
of the
years,
reasons I'm
Beer you never drank, but I still feel.
I love country.
thanks for listening so far.
Beer you never drank, but I still feel. Life's crazy, knew we'd need a little help getting through it. And that's why God made country music. Life's crazy.
Hey, don't be surprised if one.
So that is TikTok, and you can upload videos, you can share. You can see on the top where my cursor is at the moment. You can message people like you can with all full-blown social media apps, and you've got your inbox, and you send out emails and so on. So,
Michael, I have a question.
sure.
Do they sell any of their products on it? Like Tom Jones, does he sell his music
Yeah,
on TikTok?
not that I'm aware of on TikTok. He promotes them on TikTok, okay? And then you go elsewhere to buy them. I'm personally not aware of a shop, but we do have a class that does just TikTok for an hour and takes you through all the different. So if it's something that interests you, then take that class and get all the details, and just remember to follow Tom Jones. Yeah. So I try to limit myself now more so than ever with not being too involved in too many. I've only got one granddaughter that's here on TikTok, and so every now and again, like once a month, I'll just check in with her and see what she's posted and so forth. I guess like her parents probably do as well. I'm not sure, but sometimes they sneak things in without their parents knowing. And this one's only 12, and she's trying to behave like she's 21. So there's a reason sometimes just to keep an eye out. So that's TikTok. If there are no other questions, we can move on to one of my favorites, okay, and that is Instagram. Now, I talk about Instagram in my business purpose class, and purpose, and somebody does a marketing on Instagram, a marketing class, and you can look that up and take that if it interests you to look. And there's also, as I said, I do an overview of Instagram, just sort of covering a full hour. What you see now is Instagram on a computer, on my desktop. When I do an overview, then I also bring in my phone, my iPhone, and I share the iPhone on the screen. So one sees what it looks like. It looks very different. Unfortunately, it looks different on an Android, of any of the Android devices as well. It's not common through all of them. Each device that uses Android will have a different type of screen. So it's not an easy one to teach or to share unless you do, let's say, Instagram for I don't know, Google Book or something like Chromebook or whatever. So I would look for, although there aren't many classes on Instagram, look for something that suits you, because it is worthwhile. And maybe start with my introduction, and then move from there to more detail. And maybe by that time, I would have gone on to a more business approach one or purpose approach one. So Instagram.
Is Instagram part of the Google family?
No.
Is it one of Google's products?
No, it's part of the Facebook family. Facebook bought it for an enormous amount. Okay, but it's Facebook now is influencing it quite a lot with links between the two, and even using Messenger as their
Yes, familiar with that.
yeah, yeah. So there's a lot of commonality between the two, and you know, leave bias out of the window, which I have. The two of them together make a powerful network. Okay, for taking one's purpose forward, taking one's product forward, taking one's idea forward, from building a following and a name, you know, based on your particular purpose in life and your one-liner, and that all gets used here. And because you can post on Instagram, and it allows you to just click one button and it posts onto Facebook, okay? And you can use it on your personal Facebook, or you can use it on a business Facebook, a separate page. You're allowed a separate business page on Facebook. And here too, this is a personal account, but you can also have a business account on Instagram as well. So, I like what it resonates when you look at people's postings and how they post. It's call it a mature post. And every post has a picture first or a video and then the text. So that becomes quite, enjoyable. And when you land up on Instagram, now you can see at the top there, the houses, you land out on the home page, and the home page is if I've got some sort of connection, whether they're like friends or whether I'm following them only, or whether I've clicked a like or I've shared something, the AI will pick it all up. And so, your page down on your home page, that was one of my business icons when I was a youngster. We were roughly the same age, I think. And but he started from nothing. He started in a cellar of his house. And Richard Branson is
Branson, right?
Yeah. He's absolutely amazing. Always has been. And he's just, I can't believe when you start with nothing, and then you sort of grow. You started with a record shop after that, from a record shop. So I love these sort of stories and histories, and I really want to put together a class talking about examples of people that are our age, who've started when in their 20s and then built up. And I just enjoy it. I can never get enough books on people but I must like them first. Okay, I must know them and appreciate that they're not selfish, egotistical people, because then I don't like them. Anyway, I've gone off at a tangent. Hey, Laura, you should have reprimanded me. Okay.
Well, I'm sorry. Why? Why should I reprimand you?
Because I've gone off at a tangent talking about people
Branson. No, but JetBlue, isn't that his airline? Richard Branson?
What about him? Sorry?
Didn't Richard Branson start JetBlue? An airline?
Yeah.
Virgin. Virgin.
That's
Virgin,
correct.
Thank you. Okay,
That's
Virgin
correct.
Airlines.
And he started Virgin Gymnasiums, and he's all over the world, and he's helped out people immensely with his. He's bought ranches in South Africa to help, because there were some major issues, and but yeah, so he himself is good. So you'll find these sort of people on Instagram, okay, and those are just on my particular homepage, but you can get absolutely the most amazing other aspects. These are stories, the 15-second stories that you can, and then they disappear off Instagram after 24 hours, unless you save them to your own homepage. Okay, otherwise they disappear, and they don't get posted in the normal way of posting, like a normal stream. Okay, they get posted as stories, so people can go there, and an immense following under these stories, and you just go from one to the other. You can imagine 15 seconds. And then you have Reels on Instagram, which is 1 minute. You can get up to 1 minute videos. And then you also have Instagram TV, which then allows you to upload an hour-long video. So it's really covering all the bases of the social media, bringing it all together. They're watching, they change regularly. So that I think it's the influence, I guess, of Facebook, but they're always up to date with something new. They're not allowing another, somebody to get ahead of them. And so it's really very, very interesting to go through. And you see, if you
Check what has arrived,
click on any of
guys.
them, you can listen to what's being
We
said.
finally got our chessboard.
Okay.
So I wanted to do this for
Somebody
many, many
doing some
years. So this is going to be a
PCB,
smart
some
chessboard.
electronics.
We-
Let's click it. And yeah, you can then, it wants you like always to follow people and so on. If we go that, of course, is messaging, and you then send a message to whoever you want. It's the usual things. And then you've got, you can go and explore different aspects. And then if you like them, let's take the first one for no particular reason, and you click on it, up comes the post, and you can decide whether you want to follow them. You have an option of following them. If you click on their name, or before you click on it, you hold the cursor over it, it comes up with a little explanation of how many followers they've got, and how many people they are following. So, they've got quite a lot. So you're thinking, interesting, I'm into gardening. And first of all, click on their name, and it takes you to their home page. And then, you can see a little bit about what they're saying, and it encouraging you to join on the journey. And you look at the post to make sure that their journey is, I got those in my garden. So, and you go to now, you can see that they're genuine, their posts are all the same. And so if I click the follow, I then get an opportunity to immediately send her a message, and I'm following her now. And so you can follow people, you can search for people. The searching is absolutely powerful. It's one of the most powerful in-house searches. And it doesn't matter what you search for, you're going to come up with something. If you put, Tiny, I don't know, remember, yeah, there we are. Tiny houses. We had that at one of our business classes.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, you see, now look, how you come up with, and I mentioned Instagram in that business class. You were there, Laura, yeah. I think, yeah. And so, yeah, you see, those are tiny houses. Now, people have purposes and projects and are wanting to work with tiny houses and their own designs. And man, it's just, for senior people, tiny houses just seem to work. You've got your space and you're comfortable, and you decorate it just the way you want it, and you don't put it anywhere. Okay. Apparently, you can also have it made with wheels, so that every 5 years you can move to somewhere else. Okay. So that really is interesting. Now, I'm a sucker for those sort of things, so I follow them. Anyway, so that is what it's all about. And you then, each person opens an account, a free account, and you get a profile like that people come to look at, and you decide what they're going to look at.
Michael, is there any advertising on here like YouTube?
Yeah, there is advertising. The advertising comes more when you, not on your own personal page, it won't, but where you post. And like here, if you probably, if you go down, you would probably see something. One of these would be, I would imagine, I don't know if Get Set Up is paying for advertising or not. Yeah, it's not like Facebook actually says sponsored, but I see here they don't. So some of these are sponsors, but they just look like an ordinary post, okay? And they all give you some value. So if you click on one, it may be an advert. Okay. So yes, they do. You do get adverts, but that's the bottom line. Okay. All right. Any other questions before we move on?
Nope.
Okay. And as I say, I use it for fun, and I'm going to look at using it to promote these Get Set Up classes for myself as well. But I haven't started. I've changed my profile, as you probably saw, to get set up there. I offer classes on
There we
Shutterfly.
go.
Yeah. And you can find me on getsetup.io. So I'll then start sort of posting appropriately with for all guys, not only for myself, because as you can see, that's my garden, and
Beautiful.
And it's tiny. Okay, it's tiny. Okay, and those are roses.
Well, how tiny is tiny?
I'm looking at it now. I suppose you talk in yards, don't you? So it's probably 10 yards wide by maybe 15 yards wide. Okay. So yeah,
30 feet. 35.
Yeah, I've got lots of wild birds come into my garden. I encourage them, and our Australian bandicoot comes in wild. Very nervous. You make a noise and it runs. There he is again, eating there. So you see, these are sort of things that when you post something that is close to you, close to your heart. And then like now, I want to build towards classes, Get Set Up classes. I would focus some of the benefits of taking some of the classes as well. Anyway, that is Instagram. Let's move on to one of that you all know about, and that's YouTube. And it's big. It's got 2 billion, over 2 billion users, and it's free. Okay, so YouTube has become very, very popular just for entertainment, just to gather some of the latest news, and even if you want to go, I was looking to see what information I could find about the Bermuda Triangle there, and now it comes up under my homepage because this is my account. So you'll see on the left-hand top, that's the home account. So like all the other apps that we've seen, we've got you got your homepage, and you scroll down, and it's all linked in some way or other to what you have been working on, not necessarily on YouTube, but mostly on YouTube. Remember, YouTube is now owned by Google. So between the two of them, they're by far the biggest search engine on the planet. So they'll sneak in some other things that are not actually on YouTube, but on something else, maybe that Google that you searched for. So
Michael?
Yes.
I have a YouTube success story for you. If
Yes.
you plug in just some motion, some motion.
Want me to plug that in? Okay, you want me to search for that?
Yes,
Okay.
this is amazing.
Okay.
Just some motion.
Some motion. Yeah. Then which one do you want me to click on?
I'm not reading him very well. Just some motion. He's a
I think it's
dancer.
one you're looking for?
Dance, just some motion dance.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay,
yes.
click on him. The top page.
What you say? Old woman, don't treat me so mean. You're the meanest old woman I ever seen. I guess if you say so, I'll have to pack my things and go. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more.
It's absolutely amazing. Absolutely.
Okay, now
So
the story on this, and here's he's dancing. This one down here to your right, number 3. He's doing
Okay.
advertising there. But the story on him was he was in his mid-20s, and he worked for 3 years on this dance style. And then he did a YouTube and sent it to his family and friends. And they said, wow, that's amazing. And that's how it started.
Wow.
So
that
now he
is-
gets advertisers like this, as he said on the right-hand side, that number 3.
Yeah. Okay. I'm really subscribed. It's so
I love watching them. It just makes me happy watching them.
all right. I'm going to come back and watch that after this class is finished.
Yeah, he's got a
really-
bunch of them.
Yeah. it's
But
really-
anyways, to say, as you said, he did it and just posted it to his family and friends, and they passed it on. And before you know it, he's a big star.
I'm going to remember that to use in my purpose class. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. How old is he? He's probably in his 30s.
I'm guessing that he might be 30, might be. He said he
Yeah.
started it 3 years. He practiced 3 years on this dance
Yeah.
style. And I think
Okay.
it's called electric something or other. So you see a lot of dancers imitating it.
Okay. Okay. Thanks for sharing that. That is
Yes.
super. So, okay. So YouTube is really very popular amongst senior people because you get everything for free. There's Tom Jones coming up again. And you can get him singing when he was back in the 60s, or you can get him
Huh.
singing now in 2021. Absolutely great. And
The other thing I think that's interesting about YouTube is a lot of these people I can't remember what his real name is, Just Some Motion. They have their own websites too. And so if you go to the websites, some of them, because I use it for Spanish too, trying to learn how to speak Spanish. So
Right.
they have websites and you pay to be on their full-time website and get some extra benefits. But a lot of times it sends you over to their YouTube
Right.
station.
right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for sharing that. I really enjoy YouTube, and I post on YouTube myself, and I then, as you say, I then download it from YouTube onto my website from time to time when it's appropriate, and it still stays in YouTube, but the link then opens up on the website. So yeah. Any other questions about YouTube? You can open a channel, and then and the channel is free. Okay, you get more functionality just as a free watcher as well if you open a channel. But you can also upload your own videos, and you can market with them. Like Laura's just said now with this particular person, Just Some Motion Dance. It was just a casual posting, and then it took off. And
Oh, Sven Ottman, that's his name.
okay, thank you.
Sven.
It's called electric something though, isn't it?
Yes.
Rings a bell, yeah. Let's just put that in here, electric dancing or something. Just stop at electric. There's electric blue. You were mentioning blue, but maybe that's not the right thing. Okay, yeah. If you put dance in.
Dance
Electric-
music. What about that? Oh, that's electronic.
Yeah. Electronic dance music, but electric dance might be closer to
Yes.
there again, electronic dance. Yeah. So that.
Electric swing.
Yeah, it is it. There it is. Yeah. Okay, same fella.
Okay, electric swing. Okay.
Yeah.
Electro swing dancing.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on, and we'll see that the next one is also an interesting one, and I've mentioned it previously, and that is Pinterest. Now, Pinterest is very different from what we've looked when we've looked at Snapchat and TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. Pinterest still, you can have the functionality that those are, but the focus is really very different. Okay. Now, best way for me to describe it simply and casually is that, you know, when we grew up, we had scrapbooks, okay? And we used to tear out pages and cut out things and put them into scrapbooks and so on. Now, this is an electronic scrapbook, okay? And so it's an ideal place to store links, okay? So, but they are images. Every link is an image, and they call it a pin. You pin these photos wherever you find them, anywhere on the internet. You just hold your cursor over the image, and 9 times out of 10, the word P will come up, or the letter P will come up for Pinterest, and you just click on that, and you can save it on your account. You have to have an account with Pinterest, so it doesn't cost you anything, but you can't even search through it really without an account. So they just ask you for your email and your names and date of birth, basic things, okay? And it doesn't get shared with anybody. And but at least you can start, and you can start then looking at all the other options. Now, what you're seeing here is my account, okay? It is my Pinterest. It is my board, my home board, okay? And so I then have a number of boards. Ignore the all pins, because that is Pinterest's one that they put up. And they also, the last one here, all your Pinterest likes are what Pinterest puts up automatically, okay? Which comes in very handy, both of them, in fact. But then the others that you see here are my boards. And then you can then, underneath, I'm going to click on Microgreens board. If you click on that, you're now going to have, I've made sub boards, you know, secondary boards, almost like an index, okay? And I've called that one Food in Pots, and that one Microgreen Health Benefits and Microgreens and so forth. And then if you click on one of those, like Microgreens, then come all the pins that you have, that you make. And any one of these you can go back to, and let's say hold your cursor over them, okay, and you click in the middle of it, and it brings up where that actually came from and some information about it. So it also gives you a link to their webpage outside of Pinterest. So,
yeah, see, I always thought Pinterest was just for people that wanted to sell something.
right, okay. No, definitely not. I've never used Pinterest to sell anything, excuse me. I've always used it to collect, and part of my research, I do a lot of research. That's one of the things I enjoy. And I then put things in here. Now, I do a microgreens class in Get Set Up. So part of the information, you'll find some of the things here. Because now there's nothing. Pinterest has the biggest selection or variety of subjects, and I'll show you what. But if you click on their website, it then takes you off Pinterest, as you can see right now in front of you, and here's their website. Okay, and so all their sprouts, and they're trying to get you onto an email now, free beginner's gardening guide, ask you to do. So email is still very fresh and very vibrant in today's economic options that you've got. So let's just go back to Pinterest. So Pinterest, you can, if you click your Pinterest home, okay, again, it's like all the other social medias. It's the AI is looking at things that you've been looking at and making suggestions about. Maybe some of these you can save, and or there's a couple of dive spots, and so, but they all link to you, and this becomes quite pleasant, because you there are things you just don't know about. You don't know they're there, and you show it on, and you think, oh my goodness, 10 naturally antibiotic herbs and plants. And you think, wow, you know, let me find out about that, because that could come in handy for myself. Okay. And again, I can decide to follow them. So I'll just get their latest information coming up, or I can save it by clicking up there, and I've saved it to one of my boards, the wrong one, but be that as it may, I'm just showing you. But I'd like to follow them because that sounds interesting. So to unfollow, I just click again and it unfollows. But anyway, I do a class on Pinterest, and we cover through Pinterest. So if you want to, you know, just look for that particular class. And as I was saying earlier, the search function is absolutely phenomenal. Okay. You can see some of the things that I was searching for last time I was on there, like, you know, things that mysterious Bermudian rocks. Okay. And it then wasn't looking to the girls, I was looking at the rocks. There they are. But then people took their names and they became groups and they became singers using the same name. And then you think, that's not good enough. Okay. Yeah. I was also researching Antarctica, and so you can find it's almost like a starting point, and then it takes you out. So you can look at Antarctica and all the things that are going around Antarctica, but also I was searching the Bermuda Triangle, which is closer to you in America. There, it's just off the coast. So you can come and explore here, and you save them. You can either follow them to get all the stuff that's coming up, which will then appear in your home, or you can now save them to your and go back to them as and when you want to. Are there any questions about Pinterest? Okay, let's move on to, we've done that, is LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn is a business social media app. Okay, but it's for professionals, and it's basically used very largely by two categories of people. One is people wanting to upgrade themselves in a job, looking for a job. Then the LinkedIn is an ideal place to come. You can see in the middle of the screen at the back there's an icon that says jobs, and then you put in your CV, and people looking, HR people and other people recruiting all come to LinkedIn as part of their strategy. Okay, so they would come and look here, and they would search for certain, let's say, expertise or skills or experience, and yours comes up. You've got that experience. They then go to your homepage and look at it on LinkedIn, and then make contact with you. And you can also be proactive and do it in reverse and let them know that this is what you want, and so forth. So jobs. The other category of people are people who are in business, and it could be their company that in business, or individually, just as individuals, you're in a one-man business. It's great to come to LinkedIn because it is about business. It's about the commission. You will find people that can help you and are willing to help you, with suggestions or answer your questions. And when I was going to publish a book, I used LinkedIn a lot. I searched for authors, self-published authors, and I found a lot, and I interacted with them, asked their advice. When I had a thought, I would bounce it off one or two of them and come up with it. So, you know, it's a great place. Professional. It's for professionals. Okay, so your lawyers will be on here, your doctors will be on here, your everybody who's in business, manufacturers for sure. Okay, will be on here, and you have the usual options of messaging and notifications. And there's a free version of LinkedIn, but there's also a paid version that has a lot more functionality, and it's quite expensive. But you know, if you're serious about being in business, and you take the training, I do just an overview of LinkedIn as a thing, but I don't get into advanced. So yeah, that would what you would use LinkedIn for. Any comments or questions?
No.
Okay. The other one, the next one, or the second last one, is Twitter. Twitter, as I mentioned in my purpose class, that is perhaps the third thing on your list after maybe Instagram and Facebook. Get Set Up does do classes on Twitter, so you can look them up and find out. Basically, it's a messaging app. Okay, it used to historically only be a messaging app, but now it's embraced videos and links and things like that as well. But you're restricted to 288 characters, and as far as the text is concerned. When I grew up, it was 144 characters, so they've doubled that now. And you can link all types of things, and they're very strong on hashtags. So you can go to hashtags and various groups on hashtags. I just clicked on the icon there, the hashtag icon, and they on the right again, who to follow and topics to follow. So you find the politicians use this strongly, a lot, and people who have a mission to get a message out. Okay, and so it's a good place for that, for getting a single message out, a short message. But again, there needs to be diligence. You need to understand and need to take a Get Set Up class that takes you into the more advanced areas of these. You have a homepage here as well for yourself, and so asks you there what's happening in order to help get out there and tweet, and then all the other people that have been taking some actions. I'm not active on. I am there for one reason only, and I follow my one daughter. When she goes live, she sends out a tweet saying "Going live now," and then I'm able to then just go and watch her if I so desire at that moment. But you can message people, you can save things, and there's all sorts of functionality as a full-blown social media app. But again, taking a different approach. The approach basically is text with some links on them, okay? But very short text, you can't exceed those. So that's Twitter. Any comments on Twitter?
No.
They have about 330 million followers, okay? And it's probably the oldest, if I have to think about it, probably the oldest. Don't take that for granted that it is, but I think it's probably the oldest social media app, because I remember this thing being up, before this century turned, more than 20 years ago. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
Older than Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook came into its own about 2004, I think, and this one came in before Facebook. Yeah, it was so different as it is today. They're all now social media apps, and you message, like, follow, and all the rest of it. In those days, it wasn't quite like that. It was still evolving, and this was 144 characters. You could only send a character. You couldn't send a picture. You couldn't send a video.
Yeah.
And so that's how it started. And then after that, of course, we all know Facebook, and that is by far the biggest as far as followers concerned. It's got 2.7 billion followers on Facebook, and all ages use Facebook. I don't know, so many of us oldies sort of use Facebook, but because we think it's the right thing to do, or we think that our grandchildren are on it, and they may be, okay, but they've also moved on. As you can see from some of the apps that we've shown today, they've moved on, and And Facebook's moved on too. It's restricted new algorithms, limiting what you can see, limiting, the interactions from your friends to just a short few. And you can create 30 favorites on Facebook, and then you'll see everything of those 30 favorites. So you don't always see what you're hoping to see by going on to. And also it has, your home page that everybody sees, and you can decide who sees what.
Nice.
Say again. Did you say why?
I said, nice homepage.
Oh, nice. Okay, sorry. I was talking and I couldn't hear you. My
Nice
apologies.
homepage. Slide it down so we can see all the stars.
Yeah, you see this, you put up your own background banner, otherwise it defaults to I like Star Wars and I like science fiction. I enjoy reading that. And that sort of just goes with me. So it's who I am. And that's why that one went up. And I still buy the latest book in the Star Trek series, and there are a couple of series now. And so, yeah. These are all the postings that have come up that I've posted onto my post, and all the pictures. This is I just had a granddaughter born, and I put plaster on her feet and her hands. Isn't that cute? Those things just weren't around when our kids were born. And there's a Get Set Up promotion there, not an advert. It's just saying that we're one of the fastest changing companies under FOSS Company, and there's an award. We could be an award. There was a blog by Get Set Up about me, and so on. All your personal things come there. So this is still by far user-wise the most popular. And you've just got to keep track of the new things that they change, the algorithms they change, and so forth. But if you pop into any Get Set Up Facebook class, and there are a few of them, as I say, I do one, but I might be stopping that soon. So you would find other people doing it, and it's worthwhile just keeping abreast. If you're using Facebook, maybe go in once every 6 months into a Get Set Up class and just get the latest that's happening there. So that's the last of the top apps, and which ones you're going to use. You're probably more confused now than you were before.
No, you straightened it out.
Oh, good. Thanks, Laura. Appreciate that. Okay. All right. Well, I will be sending you an email with some of the catch up of what we've been doing. And until we see you in the next class, goodbye.
Thank you, Michael. Good class. Goodbye to everybody. Have a
Bye, everybody.
good
Bye,
day tomorrow.
everyone. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you. Bye.